Welcome to another Tuesday Tidbits with Treu Seeds. We're going to continue our focus on soybeans and talk about white mold management today. If you would have asked me last June, Emily, do you think we're going to see white mold pressure in August? I would have said probably not if the drought persists, but we did see a lot of white mold pressure come through in August due to a lot of moisture being held in that canopy because of those foggy mornings in late July and early August. Today we're going to talk about the tools that we have available to help manage white mold, whether it be on a wet year or on a year where we see drought conditions.
White mold is a fungal disease. The more plants we have established and the more vegetative growth, the greater the risk of white mold. This dense soybean canopy creates an ideal environment for white mold when we get cool, wet weather. We know white mold likes a cool, wet environment, but when I think back to last summer, what I remember is a hot, dry summer. When I pulled the U.S. drought monitor for Wisconsin from July 25th, it shows that we were in a severe drought. And then I went to my phone to find an image I took on July 20th. We had a lot of foggy mornings and cooler temperatures in late July and early August, which created this cool, wet environment under a dense soybean canopy. White mold spores are not able to invade the plant directly, but need to colonize on the dead plant tissues before moving into the plant. Senescing flowers provide a good source of dead tissue for colonization. These flowers are an entry point for the white mold pathogen to infect the plant. Next summer's weather is unknown, but as you create a plan for the 2024 growing season, here are some tools to consider. The first is variety. If you're planting soybeans in a field with a history of white mold or high organic matter, plant a variety that has a high tolerance to white mold. The next is rotation. Consider rotating ground that is prone to white mold to a non-host crop such as corn or wheat to reduce disease pressure. The next couple are planting considerations. The first is reducing your seeding rate and moving to wider rows. These have both shown a yield advantage in high white mold pressure areas. There are also chemical treatments that can be applied. The most common is Catans, which is applied before planting and is a biological fungicide to suppress the white mold spores. The last tool we're going to talk about today is fungicide. The optimum timing of fungicide is R1 to R2, which is when the soybean plant is starting to flower. In our area, that's that first couple weeks of July, usually. Corteva is also excited to launch a new fungicide called Viatude. It provides 2 effective modes of action on yield-limiting white mold.
White mold can live in the soil for up to 10 years. We have a variety of tools that we can use to manage white mold pressure in your fields. If you'd like to discuss what options may be best in your fields, please let us know. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.